In 2025, American families collectively owe $1.77 trillion in student loan debt. The average student loan borrower owes $37,853. And yet, universities gave away $32 billion in merit scholarships last year. Most of it went to students who didn't even need it.
Every year, millions of American families play a game they don't even know the rules to. And you see, they save for 18 years. They hire tutors. They drive their kids to SAT prep at 7 a.m. on Saturdays. They do everything right.
And then they open an acceptance letter. And the number at the bottom, the number they owe is $280,000. And they realize no one ever told them how it actually worked.
That was the college fund. You pay for it, promise. We don't negotiate with predators. Thank you, Ignite Test Prep.
Today, we are going to tell you how it actually is supposed to work. Let me tell you about a man named Robert Massa. He spent decades as a vice president of enrollment management at multiple American universities, and he once described his job to a journalist in a single sentence that should make every parent in America furious. And he said, you don't want to spend a penny more or a penny less than you need in order to get a class or a ticket to the class. And you see, just let that sink in. The financial aid office at your dream school is not a charity. It's a revenue optimization department. Their job is to fill every seat in the freshman class at the maximum price the market will bear. And they're very, very good at their jobs.
In the late 1970s, a practice called enrollment management was born at American universities. The idea was simple. Use financial aid as a weapon, not to help students who need it, but to recruit students who will help the school.
Universities started hiring consultants to build what they call financial aid optimization algorithms. These algorithms look at every incoming applicant and calculate a single number, the minimum amount of money required to get that student to say yes.
They know your zip code. They know your family income. They know which other schools you apply to. And they use all that information to calculate the exact price they need to charge you.
One enrollment management consultant compared it to the airline industry. He said, and I'm not even kidding, I quote this, there are very few colleges in the country that don't need to use the airline system for setting prices. Most colleges have open seats and pillows with no heads on them. Just think about that.
Here's a number that'll change how you see every college brochure for the rest of your life. Private colleges are currently discounting their tuition by more than 56%. The sticker price at $80,000 a year that you see on the website is not the real price. It's a fiction. It's a negotiating position.
The real price is what they need to charge you specifically to get you to enroll. And if you know how to play the game, that number could easily be zero.
Between 2001 and 2017, public universities spent $32 billion on students who lacked financial need. The University of Alabama alone was allocating over $136 million a year in merit scholarships to, in the words of the New America Foundation report, relatively affluent students.
Why? Because every dollar they spend on a high-achieving student with a 1500 SAT and a 4.0 GPA is an investment in their U.S. news ranking. And a higher ranking means they can charge more to the next class.
This is a machine. And once you understand the machine, you can use it to your advantage. There are 5 distinct categories of full ride scholarships. Most students only know about 1 or 2 of them. Understanding all 5 is the difference between leaving colleges with $200,000 in debt and leaving with none.
Type 1 is the most powerful and the least talked about. The automatic merit scholarship. These are scholarships that are triggered by a specific GPA and test score combination. No essay, no interview, no committee, just math.
The University of Alabama is the king of this category. If you're an out-of-state student with a 4.0 GPA and a 36 ACT or 1600 SAT, you are automatically designated a presidential elite scholar. You receive full tuition for 4 years. No application, no interview, just a number.
But here's the insight that most families actually miss. You don't need a 36 to get a full ride at Alabama. With a 32 and a 3.5 GPA, you qualify for the Crimson Achievement Award, which is going to cover full tuition for out-of-state students. So Alabama's out-of-state tuition is about $31.4K a year, and that's about $125,000 over 4 years.
Other schools with powerful automatic merit programs include the University of South Carolina, the University of Mississippi, Louisiana Tech, and dozens of other public flagships that are desperate to attract high-achieving out-of-state students to boost their rank.
The strategy is this. Build a list of 10 schools where your stats put you in the top 10% of their incoming class. At those schools, you're not even a student. You are a ranking asset, and they'll pay full price for you.
Type 2 is the National Merit Scholarship, and it's the single most powerful scholarship trigger in the entire American education system. Here's why.
Every year, approximately 1.5 million high school juniors take the PSAT. The top 50,000 scorers, the top 3.3% are named commended students. The top 16,000, the top 1% are named semifinalists.
Being named National Merit Semifinalist is a credential. It's a signal to every university in America that you're in the very top 1% of academic achievers in your state. And universities respond to that signal with money.
National Merit Scholarship Corporation itself only awards 2.5 thousand. That's it. But that's not the point. The point is what's being a merit finalist. The point is what being a national merit finalist unlocks at specific universities.
You see, Florida Atlantic University covers the full cost of attendance for in-state national merit finalists through the Benequisto Scholarship Program. Florida International University covers tuition, fees, housing, and a meal plan. Louisiana Tech covers tuition, on-house, on-campus housing, and meals for 4 years.
The University of Alabama gives national merit finalists a full ride scholarship plus a $6,000 stipend for enrichment activities. And here's the kicker. They also give national merit finalists a guaranteed spot in a prestigious honors college.
The PSAT is taken October of your junior year. If you're a sophomore or a freshman watching this right now, then this is your single most important test. Not the SAT, not the ACT, the PSAT. Because a high PSAT score doesn't just make you a national merit finalist. It makes you a unicorn that universities will pay 6 figures to recruit.
The selection index. That's the next one. The score that determines national merit eligibility. And basically it's calculated as reading and writing score doubled plus math score. And that's all. The cutoff varies by state. And in competitive states like New Jersey or Massachusetts, you need a selection index of around 222. In less competitive states, it can be as low as like 207.
If you are in a less competitive state, your path to national merit status is significantly easier. This is one of the most underutilized geographic arbitrage opportunities in the entire scholarship landscape.
Now, let's move on to type 3, the institutional full ride. So these are the named scholarship programs at elite universities. The ones with interviews, essays, weekend visits. Those are the ones. So the ones that feel like basically a second college application.
The Robertson Scholars Leadership Program at Duke and UNC Chapel Hill, the Ingram Scholarship at Vanderbilt, the Cornelius Vanderbilt Scholarship, the Stam Scholarship at Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, and the University of Chicago. These are the most prestigious merit scholarships in the entire country.
They cover full tuition, room, and board, and often include stipends for study abroad, research, and leadership development. And so the Robertson Scholarship, it basically gives you access to both Duke and UNC Chapel Hill simultaneously. And the Ingram Scholarship includes a summer service stipend.
The competition for these scholarships is brutal, but the profile they're looking for is specific. Once you know what they want, you can build it.
We will come back to this in Act 5 because the profile of an institutional full ride winner is not what most people think it is.
Type 4, the National Full Ride. These are the scholarships that are not tied to a specific university. They follow you wherever you go.
The Gates Scholarship, the Jack Kent Cook Foundation Scholarship, the Coca-Cola Scholars Program, the Questbridge National College Match, the Coolidge Scholarship. These are the golden tickets when it comes to scholarships.
The Gates Scholarship is worth up to $40,000 a year and covers the full cost of attendance at any accredited four-year college in the United States. It's awarded to approximately 300 students annually from a pool of over 50,000 applicants.
The Jack Kent Cook Foundation awards up to $40,000 a year to students who demonstrate both exceptional academic ability and significant financial need. The Questbridge National College Match connects high-achieving, low-income students with full-ride scholarships at 50 of the nation's most selective universities.
These scholarships are not just about grades. They're about a very specific kind of story. We're going to decode that story for you in Act 5.
Type 5 is the most misunderstood. The need-based full ride, and it's available at the most prestigious universities in the world.
Harvard University has a policy that if your family earns less than $85,000 a year, you pay nothing. Zero. Not a penny. Harvard is free.
Princeton, MIT, Yale, Amherst, Bowdoin, Dartmouth, they all meet 100% of them demonstrated financial need. For families earning under a certain threshold, they're not just affordable though, they are basically green.
The catch is getting in. But here's the insight. If your family qualifies for significant need-based aid, you should be applying to these schools aggressively because the net cost of Harvard for a family earning $85,000 a year is lower than the net cost of most state universities.
Ivy League is not just for the rich. For families in the right income bracket, it is the best financial deal in American higher education.
Now, let's talk about FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. This is a document that determines how much need-based aid your family receives, and most families fill it out completely wrong.
The FAFSA recently replaced the expected family contribution, which was the EFC, with a new metric called the Student Aid Index, or SAI. And so this SAI is the number that determines your eligibility for need-based aid. The lower your SAI, the more aid you receive.
The SAI is calculated using four main inputs. Parent income is weighted the most heavily. Up to 47% of income above a certain threshold is assessed. Parent assets are assessed at 5.64%. Student income is assessed at 50%, and student assets are assessed at 20%.
That last number is the one that destroys families. Student assets are assessed at 20%. That means if your child has $10,000 in savings in their name, the government expects them to spend $2,000 of it on college this year.
But if that same $10,000 is in the parent's name, it's only assessed at 5.64%. That's $564. By moving money from your child's savings account to your own, you just save $1,436 in financial aid eligibility with a single bank transfer.
So let's walk you through a real case study. So the Johnson family has a daughter applying to college. They have $80,000 in savings, $30,000 in their daughter's UGMA account, $50,000 is in a joint savings account.
Under the current formula, $30,000 in the daughter's name is assessed at 20%. That's $6,000 a year in reduced aid eligibility. The $50,000 in the parent's name is assessed at 5.64%. That's $2,820.
Total reduction in aid eligibility, $8,820 per year. Over 4 years, that's $35,280 in financial aid that they're not receiving because of how because of how their assets are titled.
The fix is simple. Transfer the UGMA funds into a parent-owned 529 plan. The 529 is still assessed as a parent asset at 5.64%, but it's no longer in the student's name. That single move saves the Johnson family $6,000 a year in financial aid eligibility.
Here are the 6 legal strategies to lower your SAI. So strategy 1, maximize retirement account contributions. Money in a 401k, a Roth IRA, or a traditional IRA is not counted as an asset on the FAFSA. So if you have cash sitting in the savings account during the base year, which is your child's sophomore year of high school, and you move it into a retirement account, it effectively just disappears from the algorithm.
Strategy two, move student assets into a parent-owned. Strategy 2, move student assets into a parent-owned account or a 529 plan. As we discussed, the difference in assessment rates between student assets and parent assets is enormous.
Strategy 3, avoid realizing capital gains in the base year. The FAFSA uses prior year tax data for the 2026. I can't remember. For the 2026-2027 school year, it uses your 2024 tax return. If you sell stocks or real estate in 2024 and realize capital gains, that income is counted in your SAI calculation. Time your asset sales carefully.
Strategy 4, understand the small business exclusion. For the 2026 to 2027 FAFSA, families do not need to report the net worth of a small business with 100 or fewer full-time employees, a family farm where the family resides, or a family-owned commercial fishing business. If you own a small business, this is a significant asset protection opportunity.
And strategy 5, pay down consumer debt. So if you have a credit card debt or car loans, paying them off before filing the FAFSA reduces your countable assets without increasing your income. So you're converting a countable asset, which is just your cash, into a non-countable reduction in liability.
Strategy 6, understand the divorced parent rule. The FAFSA now requires information from the parent who provided the most financial support in the prior year, not necessarily the parent the student lives with. If your family situation is complex, understanding which parent's income is reported can make a significant difference in your SAI.
None of these strategies are loopholes. They are the tax code. They are the rules of the game. And the families who know they're playing a completely different game than the families who don't.
Now, here's where it gets a bit more complex. Many of the most generous universities, the ones that meet 100% of demonstrated need, do not use the FAFSA alone. They use the CSS profile.
The CSS profile is a supplemental financial aid application used by approximately 400 colleges and universities. So it asks for information that the FAFSA doesn't ask for: home equity, business assets, non-custodial parent income, and it uses a different formula to calculate your need.
The CSS profile formula is not public. Each school that uses it applies their own institutional methodology to the data. That means that two schools can look at the exact same family and come up with completely different assessments of financial need.
This is both a threat and an opportunity. The threat is that the CSS profile can increase your assessed contribution significantly. Many schools count home equity as an asset. If you own a home worth $500,000 to $200,000 in equity, some schools will expect you to contribute a portion of that equity toward college costs.
The opportunity is that the CSS profile allows you to explain circumstances that FAFSA simply does not capture. High medical expenses, a recent job loss, a family member with special needs. The CSS profile has a special circumstance section where you can provide context that can significantly reduce your assessed need.
The most important strategy for the CSS profile is this: submit it as early as possible. Many schools allocate their institutional aid on a first-come, first-served basis. So the CSS profile opens on October 1st. Make sure to submit it on October 2nd. You've done everything right. You built a strong academic profile. You applied strategically. You filled your FAFSA and CSS profile perfectly. And then the financial aid letters arrive.
And they're not enough.
Most families accept this as the final answer. They take out loans, they drain their retirement accounts, they make a decision they will regret for the next 20 years. But here's what they don't know: financial aid offers are not fun. They're opening bids. Universities spend thousands of dollars each admitted student. When you tell them that a competing school is offering a better package, you're just giving them a concrete, verifiable reason to invest more in keeping it. Financial aid officers have retention budgets specifically for this purpose.
The key word is peer institution. A competing offer only creates leverage when it comes from a school that directly competes for the same students. Schools track their cross-admit competition obsessively. They know exactly which schools they lose students to.
Strong leverage. Emory versus NYU, Michigan versus UVA, Boston College versus Georgetown. These are peer schools. They compete for the same students. An offer from one creates real pressure on the other.
Weak leverage. A state school offer at an Ivy League school, a community college offer at a private university. These schools don't compete for the same students. The offer carries no weight.
How do you find peer schools? Look up the common data set for each school you're considering. Section C lists the overlap schools, the colleges where admitted students also apply. These are the offers that create the most leverage.
Here is the exact script. You call first. You say, I've received a more competitive aid package from a peer institution and would like to request a review. What is your process for this? They're going to tell you exactly what to submit.
Then you send a letter. You don't threaten them. You don't give them ultimatums. Use the affordability frame.
Dear Financial Aid Office, thank you for your generous financial aid package. The student is genuinely excited about attending this university and they have a deep passion for a specific program. We are writing because we have received a financial aid offer from a peer institution, and you're going to name that institution. That significantly reduces our family's net cost. Specifically, said peer institution has offered, and then you list the total grants and scholarship amount, bringing our net annual cost down to, and then you list that amount as well, compared to the amount from this university, which is a gap of, and then you explain the difference per year. This university remains the student's first choice. We are hoping the Financial Aid Office can review our package to determine if there's any additional institutional aid available to help close this gap. We've attached peer institution's official award letter for your reference.
You send it in early April, and you follow up in 1 to 2 weeks if you don't hear back.
The success rate for this approach at private peer institutions is approximately 80%. The typical outcome is a match of 50 to 100% of the gap. If they offer a partial increase, you can ask one more time only.
Optimal timeline. Late March. Receive all award letters. Week 1, calculate net cost and identify the gap. Week 1 as well. Call the preferred school's financial aid office. Week 1 to 2, submit the appeal letter with the competing offer attached. Week 2 to 3, follow up if no response. Week 3 to 4, receive the revised offer, and before May 1st, make your final decision.
May 1st is the National College Decision Day. Your leverage evaporates the moment you submit your deposit. Do not wait.
Let's talk about the National Full Rides, the Gates Scholarship, the Jack Kent Cook Foundation, the Questbridge National College Match, the Stamp Scholarship, the Coolidge Scholarship.
These are not won by the student with the highest GPA. They are won by the student with the most compelling story of impact.
We analyzed the profiles of hundreds of winners, and we identified a pattern. We call it asymmetric impact.
Standard leadership looks like this: president of student council, captain of the soccer team, 200 hours of community service at the local food bank. This is the profile of 90% of the scholarship applicants.
Asymmetric impact looks like this: a STEM who noticed that a student, I don't realize how fun I am, bro. Like, that's what I start reading.
For real.
God, asymmetric impact looks like this: a student who noticed that the elementary schools in her low-income district had no STEM funding. So she built a curriculum. She recruited her friends. She partnered with a local tech company, and she taught coding to 500 kids over 2 years.
The difference is not the activity. The difference is the scale of the impact and the intentionality behind it. The first student joined existing structures. The second student created a new one.
Scholarship committees are reading 10,000 applications from students who were president of the debate club, the student who built something from nothing, who identified a problem and solved it. Stands out immediately.
The most standout students to me display a sense of maturity and presence that most high schoolers don't have. The kind of stuff that really interests me is when you have that list of ECs, but you get really excited talking about one or two of them, and you can tell me stories about how you failed at something or had to put a decent amount of work to get something up and going. And that's straight from the Stamps presidential scholarship interviewer, Georgia Tech. Read that again. He said stories about how you failed, not stories about your successes. The scholarship committee doesn't want to hear about your trophies. They want to hear about the moment you hit a wall and what you did next.
This is the single most counterintuitive insight in the entire scholarship application process. Vulnerability is a strength. The student who can say, I tried this, it failed, here's what I learned, and here's what I built instead, is infinitely more compelling than the student who recites a list of accomplishments.
Here is the story arc that wins scholarships. Act 1, the problem. You identified a real problem in your community, your school, or the world. Not a generic problem, a specific, concrete, observable problem. Act 2, the attempt. You tried to solve it and you failed, or you struggled, or you hit unexpected obstacles. Act 3, the pivot. You adapted. You learned. You brought in help. You changed your approach. 4, the impact. You achieved a measurable result. Not I help people, but specific numbers. I raised $47,000. I taught 500 students. I reduced the dropout rate by 12%. 5, the vision. What you will do with the scholarship money. Not I will study hard, but a specific, ambitious, credible plan for how your education will amplify your impact.
This is the story that wins the Gates Scholarship. This is the story that wins the Jack Kent Cook Foundation Award, the Stamp Scholarship. And it's a story that can be built deliberately starting at 9th grade.
Freshman year, your job is to find the problem. What breaks your heart? What do you see in your community that no one is fixing? What skill do you have that can be applied to a real world challenge? You don't need to solve it yet. You need to find it.
Sophomore year, your job is to launch something small, fail, learn, iterate. The PSAT is in October. Prepare for it as your financial future depends on it. Because it does.
Junior year, your job is to scale. Take the small thing you started, make it bigger. Recruit others, measure your impact. The PSAT is in October again. This is the one that counts for natural merit. The SAT and the ACT are in the spring. This is also when you start building your scholarship list.
Let me show you the difference between a good scholarship essay. Senior year, your job is to tell the story. The college application, the scholarship essays, the interviews. You have spent 3 years building something real. Now you have to communicate with precision, humility, and conviction.
Let me show you the difference between a good scholarship essay and a great one. Good essay. Growing up in a low-income household, I learned the value of hard work and perseverance. My family sacrificed everything for my education, and I'm determined to honor their sacrifice by excelling academically and giving back to my community. That's a good essay. It's well written. It's sincere, but it'll be forgotten in 30 seconds. Now let's look at a great essay. On a Tuesday in March, I watched my mother calculate whether she could afford both groceries and my AP chemistry textbook. She chose the textbook. I've never forgotten that. 2 years later, I run a program that has distributed 847 free textbooks to students in our district. But the number I think about most is not 847. It's the one student I couldn't reach, the one who dropped out in November before I could get her a book. Her name was Destiny. I think about Destiny every time I'm tempted to stop.
Do you feel the difference? The first essay tells you about the writer. The second essay shows you the writer's work. The first essay uses abstract language, like hard work, perseverance, sacrifice. The second essay uses concrete, specific sensory detail. They say stuff like a Tuesday in March, a grocery store calculation.
The scholarship committee reads thousands of essays about hard work and perseverance. They've never read an essay about Destiny.
The rule of scholarships essays is this. If you can place the name with any other student's name and the essay will still... The rule of scholarship essays is this. If you can replace your name with any other student's name and the essay still makes sense, then yeah, it's not a great essay. A great essay is so specific, so personal, so rooted in your particular experience that it can only have been written by you. That's it.
The 3 fatal flaws. Flaw 1, starting with the dictionary definition. Webster's dictionary defines leadership as, this is the single fastest way to lose a scholarship committee. It signals that you have nothing original to say.
Flaw 2, listing accomplishments instead of telling a story. You see, they say stuff like, I'm the president of the student council, captain of the swim team, and a National Honor Society member. This is a resume, not an essay. The committee already has your resume. They want your story.
Flaw 3, the generic future plan. I plan to use my degree to help people in my community. That's not a plan, that's a platitude. A great scholarship essay ends with a specific, credible, ambitious vision. Not, I want to help people. I want to build a network of free STEM tutoring centers in the 5 lowest income school districts in my state, starting with the one I grew up in.
And now let's go to the final boss. You made it to the interview. This is the final boss. And most students lose here, not because of what they say, but because of what they don't understand about them.
The scholarship interview is not a test of your accomplishments. It's a test of your character. The committee already knows your GPA. They've already read your essays. They're in a room to answer one question. Is this person actually who they say they are?
Most important insight from my research into scholarship interviews came from a Stamps presidential scholarship interviewer at Georgia Tech. He said that the students who stand out are not the ones who rattle off the most impressive list of activities. They're the ones who display a sense of maturity and humility that is rare for their age.
He described the difference between 2 ways of answering the same question. A student asked about leadership experience. The standard answer was, I was president of the school newspaper. We had a deadline crisis. I worked hard and we made the deadline.
The Michelin star answer. As the deadline approached, our leadership team saw that we would not be able to meet our deliverable. I realized that as president, I had to allocate our resources differently. I took charge of the larger sections because I had the capacity and asked our VIP and asked our VP to refocus our efforts and delegate to our members. So based on our team effort, we made the deadline and I'm proud of what we built together.
The second answer is not more impressive, it's more mature. It shows self-awareness. It shows that you think about your role in a team, not just your individual contribution. It shows that you credit others.
The scholarship committee is not just selecting a student. They are selecting an ambassador for their program. They're selecting someone who will represent them for the next 4 years and beyond. They want someone who is genuinely interesting, genuinely humble, and committed to something larger than themselves.
Rule 1, research the scholarship program deeply before the interview. Know their mission statement. Know their past scholars. Know what they stand for. Reference it specifically in your answers.
And rule 2, Prepare 3 stories that list of accomplishments. 3 specific stories, each with a beginning, a middle, and an end, that illustrate your character, your resilience, and your impact.
Rule 3, credit others. The most impressive candidates consistently mention contributing factors beyond themselves, their parents, their mentors, lucky breaks, chance connections. This signals maturity and servant leadership.
And rule 4, embrace the failure question. Every scholarship interview includes a version of, tell me about a time you failed. This is not a trap, it is an opportunity. The student who can describe a genuine failure and articulate what they learned and how they changed is infinitely more compelling than the student who claims they have never failed.
Rule 5, end every answer with a forward-looking statement. Not just here's what I did, but here's what I learned, and here's how I'm applying it. The committee is investing in your future, not your past.
Let's bring it all together. Here is the complete step-by-step blueprint to winning a full ride scholarship in 2026.
Step 1, identify your problem. In 9th grade, find the issue in your community or the world that you're uniquely positioned to address. This is the foundation of your scholarship story.
And step 2, prepare for the PSAT. The October PSAT in your junior year is the most important test you'll take. A score that puts you in the top 1% of your state makes you a national merit semifinalist and unlocks automatic full rides at dozens of universities.
Step 3, build your impact project. Start in 10th grade. Launch something, build something, solve something. Measure your results in numbers. Iterate, fail, grow.
Step 4, optimize your GPA strategically. A 4.0 in the most rigorous available courses is the baseline. But the inside is this. Take the most rigorous courses in the subjects where you can genuinely excel. A 4.0 in AP Chemistry is worth more than a 3.5 in AP, and a 4.0 in AP Chemistry is worth more than a 3.5 in AP Chemistry and a 4.0 in AP Art History.
Step 5, build your scholarship list by the end of junior year. Divide it into 3 tiers. Tier 1, automatic merit scholarships at schools where your stats put you in the top 10%. Tier 2, institutional full rides at schools with named scholarship programs. Step 3, Tier 3, national full rides like Gates, Jack Cook, and Questbridge.
Yeah, I somehow lost it. Sorry. We go to step 3.
Step 6.
Step 6, understand your family's financial profile. In the summer before junior year, calculate your estimated SAI using the Federal Student Aid Estimator. Identify legal strategies to reduce it before the base year ends.
Step 7, follow the FAFSA on October 1st of senior year, not October 15th, not November, October 1st. Many schools allocate institutional aid on a first-come, first-served basis. Early fillers get more money.
Step 8, submit the CSS profile immediately after the FAFSA. If any school on your list requires it, submit it the same week.
Step 9, write your scholarship essays using the scholarship winner's story arc. Problem, attempt, pivot, impact, vision. Specific, personal, irreplaceable.
Step 10, prepare for scholarship interviews using the 5 rules. Research the program. Prepare 3 stories. Credit others. Embrace the failure question. End with a forward-looking statement.
Step 11, when the financial aid letters arrive in March, calculate net costs immediately. Identify the gap. Submit leverage appeals by early April using the affordability frame. Do not wait until May.
Step 12, make your decision before May 1st. Your leverage evaporates that moment you submit your deposit.
Now, I want to say something that most college consultants won't say.
Go ahead.
The scholarship system is not fair. It was not designed to be fair. It was designed to serve the financial interests of universities. The families who win are not always the most deserving. They're the most informed.
That is exactly why we made this video, actually. Because the information in this video, the SAI strategies, the leverage play, the asymmetric impact framework, this is what wealthy families pay private consultants $50,000.
And we just gave it all to you for free.
But knowing the strategy and executing it are 2 different things. Building a Michelin-star scholarship profile takes years of intentional work. Writing an essay that makes a committee cry takes skill. Preparing for a scholarship interview takes practice.
That is what Ignite Test Prep exists to do.
Our mentors are Ivy League perfect scores. They have won the exact scholarships we just described. They have the SAT in the exact interviews we just analyzed. And they've sat in the exact interviews we just analyzed. And they have worked directly with our students, not through a generic curriculum, but through our spiderweb mentor matrix, where you're surrounded by the people who have already done what you're trying to do right now.
We build 5.0 weighted GPAs. We build national merit semifinalists. We build the profiles that win Robertson scholarships, Gates scholarships, and Questbridge matches. And we do it with a proprietary system, the Ignite formula, that has been refined through thousands of student outcomes.
So if you're serious about winning a full ride, go to ignitetestprep.com right now. Download our free black book. It is the exact blueprint our students use at the top 1%, and it's completely free.
The machine is real. The algorithm is real, but so is the blueprint to beat it.
Don't let the algorithm decide your future. Bro, what the fuck did we just talk about?
So yeah, that's it for the scholarship blueprint breakdown from Ignite Test Prep. Comment below what you want to see next, and we'll catch you on the